15 now, proud to bring to you the GTS Podcast. Guys Talking Smack, the original live messed all that up. So, 15 now, proud to bring to you the Money in the Bank review / GTS Podcast. The show where we review. I'm just all messed up, dude. There's too much things that was going on in my mind right there. Like people face riding and shit. Inside joke. But anyway, we're gonna review.
Welcome to the GTS Podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna review Money in the Bank from this past Sunday, and we're also gonna review Smackdown Live from this past Tuesday. So, this is your boy EJ the King.
It's your guy J.Fields.
And Money in the Bank came from this. I'm so off today. Money in the Bank this Sunday came from
St. Louis, Missouri.
You ever sing a St. Louis song?
If you can find a way to St. Louis.
Oh man, it's gonna jump into it because I botched the shit out of this intro, so I spent about 5 minutes on that. So anyway, Money in the Bank kickoff match was Breezango versus the Colognes. What's that?
Hype Bros.
Oh, Colognes versus the Hype Bros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, return of Zack Ryder in ring. That was his first in ring match on TV. Thoughts on this match?
It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. Did what it was supposed to do. Kicked it off, I guess.
Yeah.
Moving on to the opening match, which was the women's Money in the Bank match. We're gonna spend a little time on this one, hopefully, maybe just a little bit. What was your thoughts on that match?
Oh, it was really good. I think it was. I think it was a successful first for them. History-making match. I think it was well done, well put together, the spots and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody looked good. All the way up to the ending.
Exactly.
I will say that Ellsworth was super over in St. Louis. Super over.
Would you say over as far as like he got that heat?
Over as in people cared.
I showed care. I was mad as fuck.
Yeah.
I was extremely mad.
But prior to him actually grabbing the briefcase and dropping it to Carmella, he was over.
Yeah.
Then it was like that Roman Reigns heat that he got as he dropped it. But when he came in the ring and grabbed the ladder, like the people started going crazy. Then when he climbed the ladder, they were still going crazy. They was, chanting yes and everything. Crowd was going wild in the background, when he was going up the ladder. It wasn't like a hell no, get him out of here type of thing.
I have to rewatch that. I think I was blinded by the fact, like, I was okay with him pushing Becky off.
Mm-hmm.
I was okay with attempting to climb it. But once he grabbed the briefcase and dropped it to Carmella, I was like, okay, this clearly can't be the end of the match. Right. Shane O'Mac finna come out and say, no, we finna start it back. That never did happen. I was very, very disappointed.
A couple opportunities for that to happen, and it never did happen throughout the night. Yeah. And that's what's going to determine my grade for this pay-per-view.
I agree. I already have of course I have my grade in mind, but I'm trying to see if you can make it go up or go down. So
it's probably not gonna happen.
But yeah, Carmella is your first Money in the Bank winner, quote unquote, because we haven't reviewed SmackDown yet. So we'll find out what the decision is for that later on during this podcast. Moving on to our tag team title match between the Usos, Day One-ish versus the New Day. Thoughts on this match?
I would just have to say that I just need a check. I need WWE to cut me a check. Because I specifically said on last week's episode that does not need to be a definitive winner. That, a count out, a disqualification, something to keep this feud going. This is exactly the way they went. And they didn't just do it like the cheap way. They gave us a really great freaking match.
Yes.
And then they did.
They snatched the rug right up around us.
And I was so cool with that.
Yeah.
I was so cool with that.
I wasn't upset. I was upset for the right reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't upset like, dang, WWE messed up. I was like, dang, Usos run down a good match. They almost lost. Like, I didn't want them to lose, but like, it's just the fact that I was a fan of what they were doing.
You didn't want it to end.
Right.
Fight forever.
Because that was a great match. It was.
It was amazing. A great
match. They was going back and forth. Usos showed their thing. Did their thing, and Kofi and everybody else involved in that match. I think it was It was Kofi and Big E, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I love the little what you call it, the trust fall he did. Like,
yeah, that was
man
cool.
jumped high as fuck.
That was cool.
Yeah, he was up there, man.
Turned to midair.
Yeah. So I mean, good match.
Really good match.
Just the results once again. Usos got counted out on disqualification because they said we don't need this. We're gonna leave. So moving on to our next match, which was then it was Breezango, wasn't it?
Well, they were late. They were right before the main event.
Okay, so
but we can cover it.
Oh, Lana versus Naomi.
Oh yeah.
Thoughts?
Really good match. Really good match. Lana looks like she's been doing this for a long time. She didn't look like a rookie, even though she's been billed as like this fresh first singles match. You know, all of that. Like, she's fluid in the ring. Like, she's not like, please get her out of here.
It wasn't no Eva Marie at all.
It wasn't Eva Marie. Like, there was no go away heat. There was no, why is she doing it? Like, she sold well. She sold Naomi. Naomi's moves well. She bumped. She bumped. And I mean, we've known plenty of women to come through that just cannot bump.
No.
And normally when you had that really, really pretty, that really, really beautiful woman, you be concerned about, is she going to really get in here and bump?
Right.
But like, she went in there and she put in work. You know what I'm saying? Everything looked stiff. Everything it was tight. Like, really, the match came off well.
Yeah.
I didn't like Carmella.
I didn't either.
Threatening to cash in. But it did, once again, move the storyline along.
And once again, I think I was more upset with Carmella coming out there because still the sour taste in my mouth from that match, you know, how it ended, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, yeah, I agree. Everything you said about Lana, I mean, like, I was proud of her, you know what I'm saying? Because I was rooting for her. You know, I think a lot of people was rooting for her. I didn't want to say, like, no, I was the only one, but like, you know.
You're the only one in this room.
Yeah, I'm definitely the only one in this room. But it's the fact that, you know, like, I was just, you know, like you said, she was fluid. Like, all her moves, like, didn't look like it was forced. Like, you know, she struggled to execute them and everything. And like I said, once again, what you said is like the bump she was taking. Like, she looked like she'd been doing it for a long time. Well, it didn't look like her debut match. And she's over with the crowd, like, obviously. They can't do nothing with that, you know, right now. She can, hopefully they don't make her go down the road of trashing America and doing this stupid ass shit again. But other than that, I mean, like I said, it was a well title match. You know, even though I knew the results wasn't going to be, but like, you know, I think, you know, they did a good job both maintaining a good match in the placement of their card. So
the crowd started that thing doing her entrance music. Hey, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a thing now. It seemed like something they'll do in NXT and then that crossover. You know,
it just happened.
Yeah.
So maybe because they do that on the music, maybe I'll like the music and the entrance. Maybe
you will.
Fingers crossed.
You'll get there. Anyway, moving on to our next match, which was
WWE title.
Sure it was. Jinder Mahal, the Maharaja, versus Randy Orton.
Once again, you got to put some respect on his name. The modern day Maharaja. WWE champion Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton in his hometown with all the legends sitting at ringside. Bob Orton, Cowboy Bob Orton, Ric Flair, Larry the Hex, Sergeant Slaughter, Baron Von, I can't remember.
That guy.
From World Class Wrestling.
So, what was your thoughts on this title match?
Really good match. They put together a really well done match. Jinder has stepped into the role as WWE champion. We're gonna talk about him a little later on in the show.
Yeah, we will.
But I will say that from Bell to almost Bell, he's solid. I felt like they were going to attack Bob. Like somebody was gonna sucker punch Bob.
Yeah.
Because even during the match, I think I made a post that like, go on sucker punch Bob. You know what I'm saying? Get that started. But I saw where it was going. The ending was kind of deflator. You know, it kind of deflated me a little bit. Yeah. But overall, it was a decent match. It was back and forth. Jinder didn't take all the punishment. Orton didn't take all the punishment. The crowd was really into it, being so that, you know, Orton was in his hometown. it was a good match. It was a good match.
To me, it looked just like their other match. The match that had a backlash.
Right.
I'm not saying it was a bad match, but it didn't really do much for me as far as excitement. And the only thing that, like I said, that was somewhat exciting is the fact that they attacked Bob Orton, which we all saw coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, like I said, I guess it didn't do what I expected to do. You know, of course, I made a prediction, you know, that maybe Rusev would get involved and we can have the end of this Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal thing. And obviously, it's still going to keep going. And like, I'm just ready for both of them to move on to something else. So maybe that's why I was kind of taken out of the match a little bit. But like I said, it kind of looks similar to the old match.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And definitely a match that, for me, on the whole card, that was at the bottom.
Right.
Even including the pre-show. Yeah, strong statement. I'm sorry. Okay. Now moving on to the main event. No. Breezango versus the Ascension, the mystery opponents that trash Fashion Files office or whatnot. Connor looking like, I think we had a good roast session on the group. Like everybody was checking. Connor looks bad. That tan was awful.
That's all.
No, how wide he was like
that was even worse. Like, dude has completely. I know he ain't been getting in the ring, but like he let himself go.
Like bad. He almost looked like a Samoan, and not saying that in a racist way. I'm just saying like, you know how wide they get.
Yeah.
Later on in age, like
horrible.
They got to do something about that. That's not a good look. And poor Victor. You know, Victor. Still looking like he looked. Tone and everything, and you got to come out there with a tank. He looked like an orange because he was round, or tangerine or whatever, grapefruit. Like that's how Connor looked. But overall, the match,
nothing special.
Nothing special at all.
Nothing special. Just time filler to get us to the main event, so they would have time.
Yep. Yeah. Moving on to the main event, the Money in the Bank men's match between Shinsuke Nakamura, Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Dolph Ziggler. Before the match kicked off, everyone made their entrance to the ring. Shinsuke Nakamura was going to make his grand crowd-pleasing entrance, and Baron Corbin once again attacked him from the behind. No homo. And Shinsuke was taken backstage, so he didn't participate in the match in the beginning, but at the end, he returned, and epicness happened between the stare down between him and AJ, which made me rise out of my seat. That was great.
And then they led into a short sequence between them.
Yes.
So
and thank you, St. Louis. That's what crowd was that last time when they did this little stare down and the crowd didn't appreciate it. They was just like,
I had to go back to my notes and look at it.
Yeah.
But this is early on.
But thoughts on the match?
I enjoyed it. I didn't know which way it was gonna go. Kevin Owens took some serious bumps.
Yes, he did, man. He's the MVP
He took some serious bumps. Didn't think it was going to be him. I thought it was going to be AJ and Sammy that was going to get their ass pretty much broken in half. But Kevin Owens took some nasty bumps. Like that suplex on the apron, nasty.
Yeah.
Throwing him to the ladder, nasty. Like, just come on here. Just come on. Like, damn good match, though. The stare down, AJ and Shinsuke. And Corbin ultimately winning the match in Corbin fashion. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said,
I won't complain.
In the right way, I was upset. I didn't want Corbin to win, but at the same time, it's something I settled with. I was okay with. But like you said, man, the match was everywhere, man. Like I said, my favorite part of the whole match was the stare down and the back and forth between AJ and Shinsuke. I mean, there's pretty much planting the seed later on that match is going to happen. Hopefully at WrestleMania. Maybe we get it less early and have the SummerSlam. Who knows?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody held their own and did good in that match.
Dolph even looked good. We didn't mention him, but Dolph did his thing too.
We're going to talk about him later. Best believe that.
Okay.
But everybody held their own. I was very pleased with that match. And like I said, the results didn't swing in my way, but like I was okay with it. So I think that was we forgot about the greatest love that we ever known made their debut.
Yes.
On Money in the Bank.
Maria and Mike Kanellis.
And man took her last name.
Yeah.
That's genius. Like this is the fact that like the story just makes it
Yeah, it makes the love even stronger.
It seems like she's a leader in this whole debut. Like, she's running the show, and like he's just along with it. That's like different roles. Right. You've never seen that before, so I'm very invested in what they're going on with right now.
And both of them are good on the mic.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be extremely different. At first I kind of thought they were gonna kind of keep up with the same thing of what they did, not the miracle gimmick in TNA, but I kind of felt like it was gonna be similar to that with like first woman of professional wrestling, Mike Bennett. You know what I'm saying? I thought they were gonna go in that direction. You know what I'm saying? But you kind of already got that role filled with Miz and Maurice. You know, minus the Hollywood part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for them to just focus, this to be the power of love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's going to make it different from what Miz and Maurice are doing, and it's gonna give them their own thing.
And definitely gonna be heels, right?
Yeah, I can see that definitely happen. Because Maria, she's a great heel.
Yeah, I don't think she really did much heel work when she was at WWE. I think she was straight up face. Yeah,
between ROH and TNA, her heel work has been superb.
She did some things in New Japan too, right?
Yeah, you know, with the ROH connection.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right, but that will do it for our Money in the Bank. So, review. So, what's your grade?
D+.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
I gave it a solid C.
D+. And the reason why I said, let me verify.
Yeah, do that.
The reason why I feel that way is because I got all these really great matches, but the majority of them ended in some level of controversy.
Yeah.
And like, I dedicated 3 hours Sunday night to Money in the Bank. And the first 3 matches, controversy. The Money in the Bank tag team match, the women's match, all ended in controversy. Some interference, some count out, somebody getting involved. It was almost like we're not gonna let anybody. You know, it felt like for this to be a Money in the Bank pay-per-view, that somebody should have won a match clean. You know what I mean? Then you get to the WWE title match, controversy. You know what I'm saying? You get to the start of the Money in the Bank match, controversy. Shinsuke gets taken out early.
Yeah.
Like, everything that I was hoping would happen completely didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as the way that I saw the night going, as far as winners and losers. And that kind of disappointed me. You know what I'm saying? Matches were great, though.
And that's one thing I didn't speak on. Like, of course, you know how I feel about Baron Corbin and backstage and all that type of thing. I did not like that. You know, I mean, I understand, he got that heat for, taking away the Nakamura entrance experience with, St. Louis or whatever. But, like, I didn't like that. I didn't enjoy that.
I didn't like that either.
Like I said, as far as his reputation so far, like, I mean, he's the guy that hits you from behind or all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I hate that. I hate saying that. I'm sorry. But, like, he's the guy always attacking you from behind. And, like, I just want him to get out of that character. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just bores me. And
yeah, I mean, I would have given it. I mean, like the matches, and like, I kind of feel like I didn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Because you invest all that into these matches, and it's like these matches are amazing. Yeah. And then you get to them, and you got a count out. You got Ellsworth getting involved. You got the Singh brothers and Bob Orton getting involved, and you just got all these different factors. You got the Usos walking out on the count out. You know what I'm saying? You got Baron Corbin attacking Shinsuke before the match can even get started. Like, no match. It was just a night of controversy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are we not going to get control over this pay-per-view? At no point of the night, every match is going to have some level of controversy.
Or, like, we can also speak to the fact that, like, we know what the results is, of course, for the women's Money in the Bank. But, like, even for that moment, like, as far as for me and you, like, we're very proud that Smackdown was the first ever, women's Money in the Bank match for anybody, both brands, and the fact, that once we look back on this in history, it's a guy climbing up, grabbing a briefcase. And it's kind of like, damn, y'all couldn't say that for another situation or another match. It could have been for the title or something, anything.
And he could have climbed it. But he didn't have to get it.
I mean, if he got it, they should have said, no, the first woman has to grab it, what I'm saying? And restart the match, anything. But, like, it just how it went off, I'm like, that was it. And that really made me upset. Like, dang, we the first ever to pull off this match. But, like, it was a good match. Everybody got their spots in and everything. But the fact that it ended that way, it took a lot out of that match, for me. But, we both had the memory of No, the match was pretty good, but that controversy, just like you said, it was a very controversial on pay-per-view. And like I said, that's why I just gave it a solid C, because I enjoyed it, but like the results kind of like maybe like, oh, it brought me down, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like up until that point, like I was investing in each match or majority of the matches, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Anywho, that would do it for our Money in the Bank review.
Yeah.
So, moving on to Smackdown Live. Took place this weekend.
Dayton, Ohio.
Home of Chad Gable, right?
Yep. He's been there for 24 hours.
Yeah. You don't say.
News resident.
Yeah. So, before we get into the card and the lineup, J.Fields, you got a match to watch for?
Yes. And this one has a familiar name. This comes from Progress Wrestling, day 2 of the Super Strong Style 16 tournament. This is day 2, the semifinals. No, the quarterfinals, the quarterfinals between Mark Haskins and Tyler Bate. Hard-hitting match.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mark Haskins looks like seeing like a British CM Punk. And dude is a submission striker, like just really dope. And of course we know what Tyler Bate can do.
Right.
Those two mesh well together. It is crazy because like every time I watch Tyler Bate now, I'm like, this dude is only like 20.
Yeah.
For him to be this far along at 20. Like he could potentially go down in history as like maybe the greatest British wrestler of all time. Like surpass Regal, surpass everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, of course he's got some competition because they're killing it over there.
Right.
But I mean, the guy is amazing in the ring. He can fly. He's strong. He's technical. He can brawl. Like he can strike. I mean, like the guy is a total package.
Mm-hmm.
Total package in the ring, you know what I'm saying? But the match was really good. And spoiler alert, Trent Seven interfered. Pete Dunne and Trent Seven interfered in the match. And Trent Seven hit a snap dragon suplex on Mark Haskins. Mm-hmm. That was nasty. And he rolled up on his neck. And before he could get up good, Trent Seven had already picked him up for a power driver, a twisting power driver, and spiked Mark Haskins. I had to go rewind it and watch it again. It was a damn good match. Even though it ended in controversy, I was okay with it because this was a really good match. I wasn't mad about it. Some matches when they end like that, you're okay with it.
Yeah, because they do it right.
They do it right. They don't do it all the time, But it was a really damn good match.
Okay. All right. Well, no news or rumors this week. RBU pretty much covered a lot. So we're gonna move on with the card and the rundown of SmackDown Live. So, J.Fields, what happened on SmackDown Live this week?
All right, so SmackDown Live took place in Dayton, Ohio. The show kicked off backstage with Natalya, Becky Lynch, Tamina, Charlotte, with Daniel Bryan basically lobbying for something to be done about Carmella and James Ellsworth in the whole Money in the Bank situation that occurred. And Daniel Bryan says that he's going to hear what Carmella thinks before he makes any decision about it, which leads to the show kicking off in ring with Carmella and James Ellsworth cutting a promo inside the ring. Ellsworth does his thing where he basically introduces Carmella as the Miss Money in the Bank, and then Carmella proceeds to cut a very, 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 and that's an understatement, a very amazing promo.
Yes, she did.
She cut a hell of a promo to not only sell herself as a contender in the division, but she also lobbied her case for why she feel like she should remain Miss Money in the Bank. Just a damn good promo. She even brought up some former Money in the Bank matches where interference occurred to help other people win and things like that, where Kane helped Seth Rollins win and then Bray Wyatt kept Roman Reigns from winning, and just different scenarios where, it's a no disqualification match, so it's no rules. Yeah. You can't tell me that I broke a rule because there were no rules to begin with.
Duh.
So ultimately, really good promo to kick off the show. Following that, we come back from commercial break. Daniel Bryan is backstage with Charlotte. And Charlotte is basically threatening Daniel Bryan to do the right thing, and that she didn't come here for this type of thing to be going on. She didn't come to SmackDown for things to be out of control like this, and that Daniel Bryan needs to do the right thing. Following that, we get our opening match. The New Day comes down to the ring and cuts a promo on the Usos, basically kind of rubbing it in their face that they had them beat and that they should be the new tag team champions, but the Usos ran from their own penitentiary. And we get a singles match between Big E and Jimmy Uso, where we saw the Usos try to retreat up the ramp again, but the New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, they basically blocked the ramp, and Big E was able to pull Jimmy back in the ring and hit the big ending, 1, 2, 3, for Big E and the New Day. Next up, we are backstage again, this time with Daniel Bryan and Tamina and Natalya. Natalya's basically sucking up, basically talking about how she's so glad that Daniel's back and how, he's been missed around and it's just wonderful he's back and the congratulations on being a father and all that stuff. And Tamina's standing there looking like, oh, this is a waste of time. And then she basically says that, hey, something needs to be done about Carmella. That's the whole reason why they're in there.
Yeah.
Next up, Dasha Fuentes is backstage with SmackDown Women's Champion Naomi. And she's talking about that she doesn't really agree with what happened with Carmella either. And the fact that, but she also said that she doesn't care who's the Money in the Bank winner because she's ready to take on all comers, which leads to Lana coming back and saying that she would have been the champion had it not been for Carmella interfering, coming down the ramp, distracting her. So she challenges Naomi to another match for next week. And Naomi agrees. So next week's SmackDown Women's Title match, Naomi versus Lana. Following that, Tom Phillips does a sit-down interview with Randy Orton. Orton basically blows off the match that he had with Jinder in St. Louis, basically says that he took his eye off the ball. But it's your fault because you're the one who had your dad down there in the first place. You've been doing this for a long time, so you should know. You're the one who you went to people's houses to attack them. You know what I'm saying? But either way, he basically says that it's not over between him and Jinder, and if he has to travel all the way to India and RKO everybody in India, that's what he'll do. I like to see you try. I like to see you try to RKO everybody in India.
Yeah, I like to see it.
That'd be pretty funny though. Just get off the plane, RKOing everybody.
Thank you for shooting. Oh, they went. Never mind.
We really
I'm not gonna do that. Not this time. Nope. Nope. I was about to do it.
You do it.
Nope.
Do it. Nope. Because I saw it going there. I saw it going that direction. You was about to.
Nope. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I had to catch my breath.
So after that, we got Dolph Ziggler versus Shinsuke Nakamura, which we saw Shinsuke pick up the victory. They had they called it a renewing of the rivalry. Tom Phillips called it that. So we got that match for the first time on TV, but it was a rematch from Backlash. We'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Daniel Bryan this time is backstage with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, of all the women, cuts the best promo.
Yes.
She cuts the best promo. She pleads her case the best. I really felt her. Like, she's like, every time I get so close, somebody always snatch me back. Somebody always pull me back from the spot. I'm trying to do things the right way. And I keep, getting hit up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads to Sami Zayn coming in. He says that, he was really pulling for Becky as well. Hopefully that leads to some type of, love interest thing there. That could be cool. Becky and Sami.
Gingers.
Yeah. That would be pretty cool. Like, they kind of show respect towards each other. Kind of left us on the cliffhanger there with that. And Daniel Bryan makes a match for next week. Sami Zayn versus Mr. Money in the Bank, Baron Corbin. Following that, Kevin Owens comes down to the ring and says that he's going to extend the U.S. New Face of America U.S. Open Challenge. He says that he's willing to fight anybody from Dayton, Ohio, that lives in Dayton, Ohio, which leads to AJ Styles coming down to the ring saying that he's ready to take on Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens refuses because he says that AJ is not from Dayton, Ohio, which then leads, in surprising returning fashion, Chad Gable comes down to the ring and accepts the challenge because he says that he just moved to Dayton, Ohio that morning. He's the newest resident of Dayton, Ohio, which leads to a really good match between Chad Gable and Kevin Owens with AJ Styles serving on commentary. Of course, we know Kevin Owens still your United States champion, still the new face of America, but a really good match. Daniel Bryan is backstage again. This time he's with the Hype Bros. And they're basically saying that, they never got a chance to cash in their title match from when they won that Battle Royal when Zack Ryder blew out his knee. Mm-hmm. He says they're still owed a tag team title match. So Daniel Bryan says, you know what? I'll just give you a match with the Usos next week to prove yourselves. Stupid.
Dumb.
Just put the titles on. Moving on. Daniel Bryan comes out to the ring. He calls out all the women that were featured in the Money in the Bank, women's Money in the Bank match. Carmella, James Ellsworth, Natalya, Becky Lynch, Tamina, and Charlotte. And Daniel Bryan, starts talking about how he's, listening to what everybody has to say. Ellsworth gets on the mic and basically rips him, his wife, and his newborn baby, basically saying like, oh, you've gone soft. Daniel Bryan, you and your vegan baby and all that stuff like that. And Daniel Bryan gets in his face and says, James, if you ever talk to me like that again, I'm going to punch you in the face.
And fire you.
And fire you. And the fans went crazy for it because Daniel Bryan hasn't punched anybody in a long time.
Right.
I love to see Daniel Bryan punch somebody.
Yeah. A yes punch.
Yeah. Which leads to Daniel Bryan basically stripping Carmella of Miss Money in the Bank and saying that they're going to rehang the briefcase next week on Smackdown, and they're going to have Money in the Bank 2, featuring all the women. Again. Then, in our main event, the returning, surprise, Luke Harper faces off with the modern-day Maharaja, WWE Champion Jinder Mahal. And we see the Singh brothers interfere, which leads to Jinder Mahal hitting the Colossus for the 1, 2, 3.
Such a stupid name.
It is. Oh, during the match, Baron Corbin comes down to the ring and threatens a cash in. He just walks around the ring, basically just taunting Jinder. And then, like I said, the Singh brothers interfered, got Luke's attention, allowed Jinder to hit the Colossus. Post-match, I hear voices in my head. Hits. Randy Orton comes down to the ring, RKO's the Singh brothers. He tries to hit one of the Singh brothers, tries to jump off the top rope, and Orton catches him in the ugliest RKO ever. It looks like a Stone Cold Stunner, or whatever. It was botched, total botch. But that pretty much ended our SmackDown as Jinder Mahal stood on the ramp, looking back at Orton, and Orton stood on the ropes, taunting at Jinder after taking out his boys. Before we get any further into this, how is it that the two of them can get their ass beat
easily,
so bad,
and they have the upper hand in the middle of they jumping them on the ground? How does somebody get jumped and gets up and kicks your ass?
Like, how do they take so much punishment and they don't sell it the next night or the week after? Like, they literally get beat up, and the next night they're in a different color shirt and they're good. I don't get it. Either way, that, folks, was your Smackdown live from Dayton, Ohio.
All right.
Oh, GTS.
It's time for our Smack Up, Smack Downer, Smack in the Face. Kicks off with your boy this week. So, my Smack Up this week. Yes, you already know it's hot. He's reaching for the tag already. He's ready to get in. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler, Part 2.
Indeed.
Man.
Indeed.
This match, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to even give all kudos to Shinsuke. Dolph looked amazing last night. And, why haven't they been? I understand Shinsuke is just new to SmackDown so far, but, we know the potential of not Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, and this is truly what we see in him. We've been seeing him all these years, but, this match was everywhere, dude. It was here, there. That Kinshasa he hit at the end.
Oh, my God.
Literally, you could hear, a jaw snap. I know he smacked his leg, but, that shit was crazy. This match, it had, 3 commercial breaks.
Yeah.
It went on for a long time. The match placement for SmackDown Live last night was kind of crazy, which I get into later on, but, this match did everything. It was the highlight of the whole show to me. I was not expecting this because literally when they announced the match, I was upset, which I always do. And like I said, a lot of times I get upset about rematches. It involved Dolph Ziggler. I kind of think about that because they all the rematch with he had with Miz, I was like, oh, not again, but he ended up blowing me out, blowing it out the water or whatever. But man, this match was great. I'm just gonna go ahead and get you in because I might think of something else later.
All right. Well, I think Dolph is the guy that like one match with him just isn't enough. Mm-hmm. You got to have multiples. Because when you look back over the multiple matches that he's had with people, from Dean Ambrose to now, the only one I really can't say AJ, because that last match he had with AJ was just rushed. Yeah. But these two matches with Shinsuke, the matches that he's had with Miz, like just top of the line quality matches. Like Shinsuke Nakamura, I think people don't really value how much he sells. Mm-hmm. He sells. Like, I mean, even for him to be this big star, he sells. Like, he takes a drop kick to the face like he's holding his mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Holding his mouth like his face just got kicked off. Like, I mean, like, it's those little things that you look for. It's not just, like some people. Mm-hmm. It's not like that other guy where he takes every move the same damn way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, who? You know. But overall, just an amazing match. Like, it just flowed well. Like, I wasn't necessarily excited about it because I feel like I kind of feel like they're drowning us in Shinsuke. Mm-hmm. I really feel that way.
But we, once again, in the beginning, we was like, where is he? Can we have a match? And now we're getting a match all the time.
Every week. Yeah. Every week he's getting a match. Every week. And I mean, like, I'm okay with that. But, and I guess it's okay because we don't want him talking. Mm-hmm. We don't want him to say shit. So just.
Except, come on!
Right. That's all we want.
Yeah.
Outside of that, we don't want anything else. But we can get that in the match. Mm-hmm. So,
I do like how Dolph started the match off, going back to his old college days, like,
Al Russell.
Al Russell. And that match it never slowed down.
The match they had last night should have been the match they had at Backlash.
Yes, exactly.
But I guess what they had to do, they had to make Shinsuke look strong in his first match. And now they can kind of balance it out. Like, okay, Dolph is a major player. We can put him in there, let him kind of go back. We give him some time.
And, we constantly write off Dolph a lot of times. But, like, this kind of puts his name back in. Not saying the possibility of being over as he once was, but, like, the possibility of making him be serious and actual threat to anything. Like, maybe U.S. title once again down the line or back into the main event title once again, maybe down the line. But, like, this match set it up for him, like, in that way.
The matches never were terrible.
Yeah.
What Dolph needs is a flip of character. I mean, like, essentially he's the same Dolph Ziggler that he's always been. And that's what the problem is. He's the exact same Dolph Ziggler. The only difference is that he's not playing to the crowd anymore. Mm-hmm. He's more internal now. He still needs one more little switch. And I think he could be a believable WWE champion. One more switch. Like, give him a manager, give him a girl to accompany to the ring. Bring back Vicky. Give him one of the women on the roster. Call up a woman from NXT. Like, give him Peyton Royce and Billie Kay.
That'd be awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Book it. I mean, you got some choices there. You know what I'm saying? Give him a, you know what I'm saying? Give him an additional piece that he can play off of to build his character, because right now his character's kind of buried. Right. But the wrestling, the in-ring work is still typical Dolph, still top of the line Dolph. But the character is what needs to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because even when he went heel and was using the chair, it never took the next step. It never went to the next level.
And also played the factor of who he was hitting the chair with, it was Lisa on Apollo. So that was people we wasn't invested in to sit there and say, I'm upset that you're going this route, or I'm invested in
the heel turn happened with the wrong set of people.
Exactly.
If he would have took that chip, he would have got a chair last night after losing to Shinsuke and beat up Shinsuke with a chair.
Yeah.
Then you have instant heel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's no question. Next week, they're not going to say, let's go Ziggler, no matter how well you're doing in the ring, because you just beat up Shinsuke. And Shinsuke's over.
Just like they did when Joe kicked Shinsuke ass on NXT. Like,
exactly.
Nobody was like Joe. I mean, we had some people still saying Joe, so I ain't going to act like they, that's the same comparison. But, yeah.
Same thing Joe did to Finn. I mean, very similar in that respect. But overall, dope match, best match of the night. We had some really good wrestling on this.
Yeah, we did. We actually
really good wrestling. But this was the best.
Yes.
This is the best match of the night.
I agree.
Yep. So, with that, we've built the show. I don't see this week going like last week went.
No.
So let's go and take that turn. So EJ, what is your SmackDowner this week?
My SmackDown this week was the main event between Luke Harper and Jinder Mahal. I know a lot of times we just sit there and say that we want matches just because. It doesn't have to be the same people all the time. It doesn't have to be a storyline all the time. But this match was so random. Not necessarily saying that, like you said, it doesn't make us a hypocrite. They're like, this is what y'all asked for. Y'all said y'all want to throw Luke and mix it up with other people. And like I said, I'm appreciative that Luke was on the card. But it's just how it happened and the fact that it was the main event. It didn't feel like a main event match. If anything, the show should have ended with the women's controversial. Like over the Money in the Bank thing. If it went off like that, that'd been different. But like to end with this basic match and the same typical Randy Orton coming in and cleaning up shop, and I just enjoyed that. And Luke, don't get me wrong, Luke showcased why he's awesome all the time and why he should have been on TV. But the fact that like that match just seemed like it was fit for it to be a main event, and also it just put me more in a situation where once again I'm looking at Jinder Mahal and not really feeling that, we can look at him and he has to look as a champion, but like I'm not still feeling that this is our WWE champion right now because of that match. And like, it was just a bad spot. To be honest, like I just didn't like the placement of the card, but like I said, I'm pretty sure that Luke was there, but just the fact that the way the match turned out, and now it makes me wonder, like, okay, Luke's out there. What's the explanation? Where has he been? Like anything. There's no explanation on what they're doing or no reason why they're having this match at all, anything. Because he just came off a title match from Randy Orton. Now you're fighting just Luke Harper for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Things like that just kind of, it didn't make sense to me. Yeah, randomly before the pay-per-view, tune-up match, Luke Harper, cool. But after the, I think I'm more lenient to the fact that I wanted something different. I didn't want him to go back to Randy Orton again, even though I knew that was going to happen. But I just wasn't cool with that. But that was all I had to say about that. It's just I didn't like the main event. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't think that was a good way to end the show. You?
Coming from the other matches that we had, it was definitely not the right way to go. I don't think.
Right.
But I just in the last 24 hours I've realized something. That we say we want certain things, and then they give it to us. So I think we need to be a little more specific on our requests. Because somebody in creative is hearing this podcast. Yeah. It's got to be the case.
Easy.
So we have to be more specific. So we can't just say we want Luke Harper, we want American Alpha, we want Ty. Because then they're just going to give it to us.
We got all three of them last night. We got them. We didn't get Ty in a match.
We got them. Yeah. We got them. But you see, in two of the three, we got them in spots that they really shouldn't have been in.
We didn't even get the triangle.
We didn't get the triangle. I want that. I want it because it's just something about it. Because favorite thing right now.
I hate that. The only reason I enjoy it because the fact that when it comes home, I think about that picture you post all the time. That's the only way. But I hate that thing. It's so damn
triangle flow. Triangle flow. Either way, I think we got to be more specific about how we request things to go down. We have to be down to the T. Like it's like when your mom say, "I want you to clean up the house or clean up your room," and you take all your clothes and throw them under the bed, and you like, "Okay, it's clean. You don't see that.
Yeah,
you'll throw them all in the closet," type shit.
Yeah,
that's kind of what WWE is doing to us because we say we want them, they just throw it all in, just throw them all in the ring type shit. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be more specific. So you just like your mom's like, "Okay, I want you to hang your clothes up. I want you to fold your clothes, put them in your drawer. I want you to wash this
clean clothes.
Clean clothes. Yeah, I want you to do that. You know, have to be specific.
Clean the kitchen.
Yeah. No,
don't put all the dishes in one side of the sink.
Right.
And wipe the counter. That's not clean.
That's not clean. So you gotta be more specific.
Okay.
So I think that's from here on out, if we want it, we have to specify exactly how we want it to go down.
Gotcha.
Nevertheless, I enjoyed the match because anytime that we get a chance to see Luke showcased, I'm cool with that. They just need to find something for him.
Yeah.
They need to find something meaningful for him to do. I didn't like the fact that you just thrown out there
to
be the afterthought so Orton could come in and make the save type of thing. I hate that. I hate when really good wrestlers are made to be the afterthought. I don't like it. I don't like when they set us up like that. Because even if that's what you wanted to end the show with Orton coming in and that be the last thing that we see as the show's end, then you should have did something different with the Luke match. Or you shouldn't have had Luke in the match at all. You should have had somebody totally different in the match.
Right.
Because we've seen Orton come down to the ring, clean house. We've seen Orton come down to the ring and RKO everybody. We've seen this before. Now it's getting stale again. You know what I'm saying? Even the promo that he cut. Why? The promo was good that Orton cut, but it's still dry. He said he was going to RKO everybody in India.
I didn't like that.
You didn't like that part?
It was...
He even made mention of I like the fact that he drew it back to the fact that he expected the numbers game to play a factor because he's been in Evolution, he's been in Legacy. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the.
Maybe I toned it out. So
I like the fact that he played. I like the fact that he played into the fact that I'm not whining because I lost because I've been on the other side of it playing the numbers game. I like the fact that he owned up to that part. I like that part of it. You know what I'm saying? I could take that.
Him and Baron Corbin should be tag team.
No, they shouldn't.
They're emotionless.
Please no.
They don't.
I like Corbin way better than I like Orton right
now. Yeah, I'm just saying they don't have.
Orton needs to find. Orton doesn't need to be in the title picture. He cannot carry a feud with a new champion. I mean, if this was AJ Styles and him in the feud, he wouldn't have to do so much. But this is Jinder Mahal. This is Jinder Mahal's first feud. What feud has Jinder Mahal ever had?
Great Khali.
What feud has Jinder Mahal ever had?
Santino.
What feud has Jinder Mahal really ever had?
I don't know.
He hasn't had a real feud.
Okay, say that. You gotta be specific.
He hasn't had a real feud. He's been on TV a couple times. He's interacted with other people on the show, but he ain't had a real feud. 3MB never had a real feud with anybody. You know what I mean? So he never had to hold up a feud. And you put Orton in there, somebody that's really not capable of carrying a feud, with somebody that's never been in a feud before, the rivalry is going to
coloss. That's what it sounds like. That's the right word.
That's exactly what's happened. It's colossed. And let me be serious. The only thing that's going to save this rivalry is the crucifix.
I knew it. I knew you was going to say that shit.
Driven into the vessel of India. Whatever.
J.Fields, what is your Smackdown this week?
My Smackdown this week, and I'm going to have to preface this, is the booking of the United States title. I do not like the booking. How many times? So when you win the U.S. title, there are no contenders.
Right.
You don't have contenders. Nobody wants the title, so the champion has to go out and do an open challenge every week.
Right.
We saw this with Cena. We've seen it with Rusev. Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing an open challenge for a title that people should want?
And you have a mid-card that should be. I mean, that's how you get Luke Harper and other people involved.
That's where Luke Harper should have been.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, this is going to be a near fall, but I'm going to throw it out there now.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens and Chad Gable had a really good match. First time ever seen them lock up before. Never touched before. Great match for a first time out. I could get behind that.
And also, like I said, just to chime in a little bit, is the fact that went somewhere. It led to Chad Gable being there. It wasn't just like Luke Harper
thrown in there.
Thrown out there. Chad Gable inserted stuff like that. I was looking for anybody to make their debut.
Right.
You know
and Chad Gable had personality. Which made me even more vested.
Yeah.
Because I found myself laughing at the promo that he cut about him just moving to Dayton, Ohio that morning.
Yeah. And he got out some address, which I mean, like, who's gonna confirm and looked it up? You know what I'm saying?
Like that was funny to me.
Yeah.
And we don't get that all the time with everybody. So I like the fact that he was able to play that part. He played his part well, and then he went into the ring and had a really good match with Kevin Owens. Which we know KO was capable of a really good match too. I even like KO's promo. But I don't like the fact that the only way we can book the U.S. title is with an open challenge. Like, just get rid of the fucking belt. Just get rid of it. If that's all you can do with the belt, get rid of it. I had to sit through, 2-3 months of John Cena doing the open challenge every week and beating everybody?
It's about to go on a month since KO last defended it because it was at Backlash, right?
Exactly. And let's be honest, if this is just another way to get us to SummerSlam for AJ and Kevin Owens, just go and give it to us next week. Just give it to us next week.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever wins the title, just do something different this SummerSlam with somebody else. Because they have a way of running things into the ground extremely too fast, or dragging things out way too long than it should be. Like, just get rid of the U.S. title. It means nothing. It's the crap title in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
It's the title that you get that never gets defended. Chris Jericho had the title, never defended.
Dean Ambrose had the record though.
Dean Ambrose had the title, never defended. It's the crap title. It's a crap title. John Cena had it. Open challenge every week. 1 week is Stardust. The next week is Wade Barrett. The next week is Sami Zayn. The next week is Neville.
Cesaro.
The next week is Cesaro. The next week is, we got that. We've seen that. The 1 week it was Dean. Like, no.
I'm sorry.
No, we don't want it.
I don't want it either.
We don't
Especially if you put it that way.
We don't want that. And even if Kevin Owens every week has a really great match, if next week is Jason Jordan, he takes a crack at it and they have a really good match. Okay, cool. But I still don't want it.
Somebody should be backstage talking to Daniel Bryan like, I want a title match with Kevin Owens. Or I want to earn a title match from what Daniel Bryan always do. We're going to have you fight Kevin Owens. And if you beat him, you get a title match.
It's open challenges and battle royals is all they go to. If there are no contenders for the United States title, have a tournament.
Now, hold up.
Where's Ty?
Can we have a little small Raw Talk section right quick?
Yes.
So, didn't catch it. I had to read and hear about it in a review.
Mm-hmm.
So Roman Reigns can just come out there and demand a title match now.
He said he's the number one contender.
But they just fought 5 top competitors, had to fight for that spot. Mm-hmm. But he can just come out there and say, you know what, I lost that match, but I'm still number one contender at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
How? And Sterling, like I said, if you haven't listened to RB,
I haven't heard it yet.
Sterling has completely answered that question. But I just wanted to let Sterling know I'm on the same page as him.
And I hadn't heard it yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the same page as you too, because when it comes to Roman Reigns, just don't like the guy.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
No.
But
Sterling has some words for this Miller too. That was pretty harsh. I would never talk to you in that way, ever.
Even if I became a John Cena fan?
Maybe. Okay.
Did you hear that pause right there? Did you hear that pause? He ain't got to worry about it though, because I'm never gonna be a fan. Never gonna be a fan.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't like the booking of the U.S. title. Your thoughts?
Same thing. I agree. Like I said, we pretty much chimed in on that, but it just, like I said, just like as much as anybody else complain about having a women's title or a tag team title match or the WWE title, you got plenty of people back there in their locker room that's not on TV or have been on TV fighting for nothing, could be talking to Shane and Daniel Bryan saying that, hey, I want a title match. I need to make my play. People like Baron Corbin, a whole list of people who could be fighting for something instead of just involved in the rivalry.
Before Zack Ryder came back, Mojo Rawley could have won.
Yeah, I'm the Andre the Giant winner. Let me fight.
Yeah. No. Before Jinder Mahal got a WWE title match, maybe he get a U.S. title match. He's like the Indian version of Roman Reigns. You do realize that, right?
Jinder Mahal?
Yeah. Roman Reigns skipped all the titles too. Went right for the WWE.
Aha.
Think about it. Yeah.
You're on to something there.
And that's why we don't like him. Think about it. We don't like Roman.
Nope.
Because why? He didn't go for any other title. He skipped. He line jumping.
Like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Nevertheless, what is your smack in the face?
I'm going to take a page from you. I really didn't have one this week.
Okay. Did you have one last week?
I had one last week.
I got one.
You didn't have one last week.
I didn't have one.
I didn't have one.
Yeah, so I'll hold it down.
So, yeah, pretty, like I said, we got a lot of great matches, so I'm not going to shit on it, shit on the show and sit there and say something just completely rubbed the wrong way. If anything, I was leaning on making the main event my smack in the face, but like I said, it was a good match, so I can't completely just sit there and say no, fuck it. But anyway, J.Fields, what was your smack in the face this week?
My smack in the face is kind of two-part, but it's mostly all in. I can't say all in favor because that would make it sound good. But I didn't like Daniel Bryan this week. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't like Daniel Bryan. I didn't like his decision. I didn't like the booking of the women's Money in the Bank. Now, granted, Smackdown next week from top to bottom is going to be must-see. Usos and the Hype Bros, Sammy and Corbin, Naomi and Lana.
Lana, we love you.
The women's Money in the Bank rematch. That's a really stacked SmackDown card.
It's like Money in the Bank Part 2.
Ratings should be through the freaking roof, But I don't like it. I don't like how his character was portrayed last night, and I don't like the fact that he took the title or he took the Money in the Bank briefcase from Carmella. Like, I feel like WWE tries things with certain people, and then they pull it back, but they don't try things with certain people. If you were so willing, just fly with me for a second. If you were so willing to just try this Carmella, James Ellsworth screw job controversy thing out, what the hell has kept you from trying to put other people over? Pulling the trigger on somebody else. You can pull the trigger on Carmella and James Ellsworth and the women's Money in the Bank, but you won't pull the trigger on a Luke Harper. You won't pull the trigger on a Sami Zayn. You didn't let Bray Wyatt remain the WWE champion at WrestleMania. I could keep going. I mean, like Cesaro, prior to this tag team run with him and Sheamus, was pretty much just the Dolph Ziggler of whatever brand or whatever show he was on, go out, had a best match on the night, and then get all the props for it, and then he's just out there working hard for nothing.
Right.
Like, if you can pull the trigger with her, why come you can't pull the trigger with these other people that are going out night after night, putting on really good matches, giving really good promos? Why come you couldn't do that with somebody else? I mean, they pulled the trigger with Alexa, and I love Alexa, but I mean, they pulled the trigger with her. They taking a chance with her. Some of it's sinking, some of it's flying, but they're taking a chance, and they're running with it. They're not pulling back from it. They took a chance with Jinder Mahal, and they're running with it. I didn't think he'd have a 3-month title reign. He's not going to lose that title to at least SummerSlam.
Right.
So he'll have the title till August. And he got it in April. Or May. He got it in May.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just kind of feel like something has to give. Because there are other people that deserve opportunities and deserve to have the trigger pulled for them. And they don't do it.
Right.
And that was my biggest problem. And like Daniel Bryan was just kind of like the cog in all of that. You gave her the Money in the Bank contract at the pay-per-view. I guess they were like, oh, this the backlash from this. Is the Twitter and the social media has really been giving her a hard time about it. Let's do something different. No, let her run with it.
And I actually feel like next week that she's still going to win, but she's going to get it herself.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that.
But that's the route. I mean, just like you said, just run with it.
Just run with it.
That's the decision I made for Sunday. People dealt with it. Yeah, it was controversial, but like.
So in the course of 2 weeks, you're going to have these girls go out and do 2 ladder matches? How do you exceed the first one? Don't you think it's a little soon to do another one? I mean, like, how do you top that? How do you top the first one when it was the first one they've ever had? How do you top it 2 weeks later? That's a lot of damn pressure. I'm not saying that the match is going to be bad. I'm going to be tuned in, eyes glued to the television. But I think it's a little premature to have one so soon with the same people 2 weeks later.
Right.
Or really 1 week later. Because it'll only be like a week, 7 days from now. And they just had the match Sunday. So I mean, a week and a couple days, and they're already going to have it. They won't even be 2 weeks. So I mean, that's my issue.
Yeah.
I was starting to get okay with the fact of her being the Money in the Bank, and she cut a damn good promo.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
I mean, like she came out of the best promo I've probably ever seen her cut. She managed the crowd. Ellsworth did what he was supposed to do. She managed the crowd even when they were trying to boo and brush her off or whatever like that. She fired back at the crowd, and she didn't lose her pace. She didn't lose her step. Like, run with it. Just run with it. See what happens. She can cash in and maybe not be successful. But run with it. Because I was starting to become interested in it. Now you're taking that away from me, and you're probably going to give it to Charlotte.
They're not.
I hope they don't. But, I mean, you know how they have a tendency when it's the first ever something.
Yeah.
They give it to Charlotte. First ever Hell in a Cell.
Like I said, even if they was to go down the route of giving it to Becky, it would be more understandable. But at the same time, it's like you said, my main point is that this is what y'all did. Stop trying to fix it. It's too late.
Right.
It's already inbred in our mind that Carmella's the first ever women's Money in the Bank winner. Like, whoever wins after this is still not going to be – I'm not going to forget.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So stop trying to do that.
They could have had – honestly, if it was me, I would have allowed Carmella to keep the Money in the Bank and then have a fatal four-way or a four corners elimination match with the other four girls. You put Tamina, you put Natalya, you put Becky, you put Charlotte in the four corners elimination match, and the winner of that match becomes the number one contender. Because Carmella's not the number one contender. You still got to have one of those. Right. But they're going to continue to run the thing with
this is going to be the story now, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to strip Carmella of the Miss Money in the Bank. But what I will do is I will give you four an opportunity to go out and battle one-on-one or in a four corners match to determine the number one contender to see who's going to face Naomi at SummerSlam. Since Lana's in the picture right now. That's fair.
And Lana gets another title match.
And then Lana gets another title match just because she went directly to the champion. Like it's like nothing. It's a double standard. You know what I'm saying? Some people you got to go to the general manager to get a title shot. Other people you can just go to the champion and say I want your title. And they be like, okay,
this is what you need.
Or you can just come out to the ring and say I'm the number one damn contender. Then some people got to go out and win matches.
This is where you need Stephanie to come out and say, oh, you just can't come around here making matches like that. You know?
Right.
That's one thing Stephanie did do.
Right.
I'm not saying I miss or anything.
We don't. But I definitely didn't like that shit that Brian said.
Yeah, that shit was awful. But you're right, man. I mean, like, Daniel Bryan just pretty much set a bad mood in the show. Like,
yeah, because it was like he was trying to run the show.
Make the decision.
But not really.
Like, you can make decisions about anything else. You put Miz through hell a lot of times, giving him title match. Dolph Ziggler constantly getting rematches for the title. Why you just pick on one person? Just like you said, spread it out. Spread the love.
Spread it out. And where the hell were they at Sunday?
Exactly.
Half of this shit went down. How are you having a pay-per-view and your general manager nor your commissioner in the building for it? That's crazy to me. And then during Backlash, you're going to say, oh, we'll deal with this on Tuesday. But you got a pay-per-view going on right now? Fuck out of here. Yeah. Bad booking. Bad booking.
Bad and booking. So?
That's all I got.
Well, that would do it for our review. So let's get into these near falls. Any near falls this week?
I've already touched them. Carmella, Chad Gable. Those were my two.
I really we really didn't touch much based on it, but I really enjoyed the not Usos. Big E versus Jimmy. Jimmy Uso. I enjoyed that match. It was good.
It was.
Good back and forth. It also ended in another controversial ending, but same time, it still ended with a winner, which is Big E. But New Day's promo coming to the ring. I mean, I enjoy it every time. Just like you said, it's a refresh button. Them being on SmackDown. And so it's basically the same. They're the same people they were on Raw, but it's just like we had a break from it.
Right.
And we missed it.
And they're not the champions. They're in the chase position.
Yeah.
They're chasing the title.
And, honestly, I don't want them to get the title right now. Maybe later on, but maybe give that spot to Breezango because they're owning up to their spot. We didn't get no Breezango last night.
No, we didn't.
That was pretty.
We didn't get Mike and Maria either.
On TV.
On TV.
Well,
yeah. We didn't get Eric Rowan or Aiden English.
No.
I would have enjoyed a Baron Corbin promo.
Yeah, something. I thought he was gonna get
for him just to come out. I mean, just that whole the last 15 minutes of SmackDown was just weird to me. Like, Carmella comes out and brags about how she's missed Money in the Bank. Baron Corbin says nothing the whole night. He just teases a cash in that we knew he wasn't gonna cash in because Jinder wasn't even beat. We knew he wasn't about to cash in.
He wasn't tired at all.
And the crazy part about it is I think they're kind of messing it up because, like, they're letting these people come down during matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Carmella came down during the Lana-Naomi match. The whole premise of being Money in the Bank is, like, waiting till the person is beat down after the match and then your music hit.
You know, it'd been even better. And like I said, even not saying necessarily this is the best route, but, like, the music would have hit for Baron Corbin. Jinder Mahal got distracted after the match.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy Orton came and attacked him then.
Right.
It wasn't even Baron Corbin didn't even have to come out. You know, just the music hit. You know, just the fact to get Jinder, you know, paranoid. You know what I'm saying? And if Jinder would have lost that match in that fashion, you know, because of Luke, because of the music or whatever,
right.
Luke would have got the pin. That would have made sense as well. You know,
right.
Jinder got watched over his shoulder for two people, Baron Corbin and Randy Orton. You know what I'm saying? So that would have made better sense. But yeah, I agree. Like two teasing for cash-ins and
during matches,
like that wasn't cool. Like it always usually happens after the match or something. You know, it's rare that somebody cashed in when somebody's fresh. You know, like I can still beat you.
They can see you coming down the ramp. You know what I'm saying? Because Lana looking at her come down the ramp Sunday. Jinder's watching Corbin come down the ramp. Like, you're not finna cash in. Like, and the ones of us that know how Money in the Bank works and that's a fan of the Money in the Bank storyline, we know that that's not how the shit go anyway. You're gonna cash in once a dude been beat down bad. Like, say for instance, if Orton had a RKO Jinder Mahal over and over.
Then the music would have hit,
Then the music would have hit. They'd be like, oh snap, it's finna happen.
That would have fucked me up.
It's finna happen like right now.
Yeah.
But that's where I kind of feel like that's where they're gonna lead to, because I mean, like, even though Orton can't beat Orton, this sounds terrible. Even though Orton can't beat Jinder, the only thing he can do is kind of leave him laying. Leave him for, Corbin to come in and pick the ball. I think that's how they're gonna get the title off of him. I surely hope that other thing that we've been seeing doesn't happen. Fingers crossed that it doesn't.
Please, God, no, God, please. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
I think that would do it for our review. So, is there anything else? 67 minutes.
Did you have a guys talk wrestling?
I didn't have one this week. I think, we had a lot going on in the show, but did you?
Off the top, no. I'm gonna hold it.
Let's save it for another podcast. Yeah. Maybe we still constantly, hint that we're gonna do a podcast separate from reviewing. So we need to do that probably soon. Yeah. Probably get Twan and BK in on it. That'd be cool.
Yeah. And we got some other people that's faithful listeners that some other major wrestling fans that shout out to Mon, Sleepy J, Fahar, Chose, a lot of those guys, they check out the show, support the show, you know what I'm saying? So gotta get a couple guest stars maybe 1 week,
We're coming close to the 50th.
I know. What are we today? 45?
48.
48. Oh, look at me.
Next week is 49. So
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. We gotta do something big, man.
Yeah, let's figure that out.
Of course, we're gonna probably have our compadres, Ismail and Stir Pearl, on the 50th show.
That'd be good stuff.
But maybe we'll take some live questions.
A young milestone.
Yeah. We're doing this for almost 50 episodes straight. Well, we gotta get there first.
Haven't missed a week.
Nope.
And been giving you pay-per-view reviews.
Yeah. Because technically we have already did 50 shows, but
not under the GTS podcast.
Well, no, we have. We have
pay-per-views, but not the weekly
Smackdown
review. Yeah, Smackdown week.
Yeah,
the pay-per-views are extra.
Yeah. So that would do it for our podcast this week. Check out 1515 out for other podcasts such as Equal Opposites, Studio Flow, Lace Them Up, Real Rundown, Mac and D Talk TV, MWT, and of course RBU and GTS. Click on the Amazon link to support the site. Check out GTS on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And hit that like and subscribe button on all the social sites. And follow us and get updates on other pay-per-views and other shows and other podcasts we may film. So, there's nothing else. It's your boy, EJ the King.
It's your guy J.Fields.
And we are out this bitch. Holla. You can say holla.
Ho, 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 ho.